everything this morning. I woke up.
Just do.
Yeah, it's just fucking like, oh yeah, we're gonna take our time. You get the spinning wheel of death just sitting there on every little fuck keystroke, or you want to move the mouse. Like, okay, you've got an update coming. I can already tell. Hopefully that'll happen before we leave the house today, and then it'll be good when I get back. But anyways, talking about dead plants is the first thing I hear as soon as I get into the back room here before we go. I just had to do some like emergency transplanting because I've got a 3-foot investment dog in a solo cup that's needed transplanting for at least a month at this point. That thing is so freaking dried out. Like the roots are, when I pulled it out of that cup, were just like, but the plant itself looks relatively happy. Like you wouldn't have thought it was completely moisture starved or anything like that. So she went from a solo to a 3-gal, and hopefully she'll be much happier now.
Oh, yeah, I was doing some watering on my houseplants, and that wandering Jew I showed you guys that had done so well in the last few weeks and given me a whole bunch of new leaves. I just ripped that right off.
You're like, fuck progress. Okay,
yeah. You see how really tough you are. Do you do this twice?
Right. That's how that works.
Yeah. Well, it's like, well, just stick it back in the ground, pretend it didn't happen, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's as easy as those things work, man.
Some do, some don't. Let's hope and pray, right?
Yeah. That's one of them that do. So you're on the lucky side for that one. Well, lucky or fortunate, I don't know, whichever you want to call it.
Yeah. It's only me looking after them, and I don't even know their names or what they are and how many I have. So it's like, if you die, you die.
But I was
just over here.
So I'm not telling him on our way in.
Like, it looks good over here for a house plant. Not really. Like, it's a facade, kind of. You get put on the shelf with the rest of the plants with the light, and it looks nice. And then a few weeks later, you're like, this guy ain't doing his thing. But I do come and rescue you, throw you water on you once or twice a month.
It's sad ones that you've had around for, like 8, 10 years. And they've always done great. And then all of a sudden you look at them and you're like, why are you acting like that now?
Yeah, what's eating your roots?
Right?
No.
What's everybody smoking out this morning?
Nothing yet, but you got us covered, sounds like.
Well, fucking get on it, man. You're fucking slacking.
All right.
The investment dog going.
Investment dog. Nice.
So we're starting to notice, like the last week I was in my hotel room, there is plenty of times. I noticed this earlier before I left. Like you'd be sitting there in the room and all of a sudden you get that oniony armpit smell. And you're like, what the fuck? Like I just had a shower, didn't I? You kind of start and realizing it's the fucking plant. It not only does it give off that like real nice freaking fuely freaking like dog walker freaking awesomeness. When you start look at like smelling like extra hints, because I was asking the old lady about it yesterday when she's like, hey, do you ever get that like oniony armpit smell? She's like, yes. And then there's another thing that she threw out there too that I was like, oh fuck, you're right. But it's early and I'm not high yet, so my brain doesn't work good. It was just like one of those funny little things though, right? We haven't had armpit weed in a while. I like armpit weed.
Hey, I hear you, man. Every once in a while, I got kind of weed all over the house at this point. And you'll catch a whiff of something, and you're just like, "Fuck is that? Is that weed or is that something fucking rotten around here?" And you're like, that's weed. Never mind. And then you just smile. And you're like, everything's okay.
Well, it's like nobody wants to be that person. Just like imagine if that was like, they say you're the last person to smell yourself, sort of thing. I'm just like, fuck, have I been getting into the truck just smelling all ripe as shit? Fucking, and the guy I'm working with is just too pleasant to say anything. Morning, dude, you smell like shit. Fuck.
There's usually that guy.
So you must be that guy on the crew then, huh?
No, because I shower every day.
No. I mean, the guy that would tell the other guys. Because if no one else will fucking tell you, because I know sure as shit there's guys that, I'd be on that and be like, bro, you smell like fuck all. Like, why are you here? Go take a shower.
Yeah. There's a couple of guys that I work with And every once in a while, you'll get into the fucking truck and it smells like fucking, it's like rancid pussy. Like you've been up all night fucking beating the hole off it with your dick kind of thing. And you're just like, God damn, man, like wash your fucking face before you like it's, I never wanted to know what your old lady's box smells like. And now that I do, I fucking really wish I didn't, you know, like it's, Jesus Christ, hit the fucking shower.
I work solo most of the time, so I'm good, I guess.
I wish. See, that's where it would be really nice. Be stinky and fucking loud as you want. Great. Keep meaning to fucking light this joint, and then I'm like, oh no, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm gonna chill with you guys for a bit here on the show, and then I'm gonna head up to the shop and do some prep for the week ahead. We got a busy week coming, so putting in some OT. While the kids are away, Dad will play, kind of thing. It's too cold to fucking do anything else around here, anyways. I got these ice dams on my roof, like my troughs have backed up, built some ice up there and everything. You got to be strategic with those, because if you put your cord up there to melt it, and it melts and travels through places where you may not want your water flowing, and then it gets out of the range of that heat and freezes again. That's where your problems lie. Not so much with the water flowing through stuff where it shouldn't be. You don't want that, but you can look past that. It's when the water gets into places it shouldn't be and then freezes, because then it separates shit. Like, yeah, you don't want that. So I'm waiting for the day where it's going to get warm enough where I can melt those ledges and, not have to worry about a hard freeze again after that. So kind of stuck here. It's fucking ridiculous. Parts of my roof, man, like where it's backed up, it's so not good for the house. But there's like in the one corner, there's a piece of ice probably that thick, probably 1.5 feet thick. It's just like, holy shit. So this year is insulation evaluation year.
Insulation evaluation year.
Yeah, whatever they have got going up in that attic it's not working. Or the trough. Yeah. I gotta reevaluate from the peak of that roof down to my grass. If I dump a fucking bottle of water up there, where does it go? And how does it get there? And what? Make sure all my troughs are level and cleared. And like, I know they're all cleared, but some of the spouts are falling off, and it's time.
Probably use a hose. I don't know if a bottle of water is going to get you very far.
Well, you know what I mean. Water.
Hey, man, it's just trying to be helpful, man. I don't want to see how many times you're going to crawl up and down that ladder with a bottle of water. Although I will record that shit and put it on the fucking internet.
Big bottle.
Bottle.
I just see that 500 ml bottle.
Just a guy going up, fucking watering his roof constantly with a 20-ounce bottle. Like,
no.
Neighbors out there wondering what the fuck's going on. This guy's done lost it.
They do that already. I don't need to be walking up and down on my roof. No, I think about it like when you live in a subdivision or somewhat close to neighbors, it's kind of neat just to break down like the neighbor demographic. I don't have another me on this street. I don't think. Like we all have different like family makeups and age brackets and all this shit. It's just neat to see all the differences on the street.
Right.
I used to be the loud party guy. Now I'm the loud motor guy. But there's a kid 2 doors down. He's got skidoos and motorcycles and shit too. Younger guy lives with his parents. So I let him do all the fancy shit and take the fucking spotlight off me.
Yeah, that's how I met one of my fucking best friends. He was trolling the neighborhood that we had just moved into. And when we were moving in, he looked over and he said, man, he goes, when you first moved in, he goes, I for sure looked over and said, that guy's a fucking asshole. Like, this is just bullshit. He said, then you parked an old fucking 81 Trans Am out front with no fucking hood, no fenders, with a West Coast Chopper sticker out front. He goes, and the thing was loud as hell. He said, I figured I found a friend.
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
He's been one of my good friends ever since then, man. So
I got a good friend next door from back in the day. We're just busy with young families. We don't really hang out too much a little bit here and there. He does some good growing too, though. So we got that. Other neighbors retired. I got no one in front of me. So that's about it. It's an easy.
I've never even heard of that one, Austin.
I've got something from them in the box, but I haven't tried it out. I think it was the Raiders sent it up, so it's called Wapia or something like that. It's not with a W though. It's like a J or an H or something like that, like a silent, tricky word kind of thing. But I have not actually tried them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those ever since I kind of started fucking with mine. I just haven't been looking at much others lately. Kind of dicking around with what I got to make and fucking around with my stuff. So
yeah, Austin, if you got Magpie talking about it, it's all right.
yeah, right. That's just what I was thinking. I said he's got it going up. It's probably not fucking bad.
Yeah, he's a good judge. We got fucking Rossman smoking dispo weed. What the fuck is happening down there? Thought you guys were making America great again. You know what I do love though? The little hockey story that just happened. The fact that Canada booed your anthem and then got fucking punched out 3 times in 9 seconds. Fucking
yeah, but
one of the funniest hockey moments. Me being Canadian.
How do you figure those were bitch slap fights and they went and hugged on the ground?
Nobody got
punched out at all.
Whatever. They went at
just like the UFC, all right? That's popular as shit. It's still a fight. All right. If the UFC can call it a fight, then so can hockey. I
didn't watch it, but I heard I did see the highlights and stuff. But the fact that someone booed their anthem and then as soon as the fucking puck dropped, they're like, win or lose, like
didn't they win the fucking next game?
Canada came back and took the actual medal, yes.
Yeah. So
but you guys fucked us up for the first round. Holy shit. I don't think.
Well, obviously, we didn't do it good enough if we didn't take you out of the fucking third of it.
No, that's going down in history. That though, boo their anthem and then fucking they just start punching you.
That was already set before the anthem was ever even sung, dude.
Was it? I haven't been following.
It was all over the news. The fucking Keith Kachuk's kid there fucking had a group chat where he's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna beat up the Canadians at the fucking bell."
Oh, and then the Canadians.
And then everybody just hugged on the ground and had some gay homosexual orgy pads.
We know how Cariboo feels, but
no, everybody just made it out to be a big ding. And it was I watched 2 15-year-olds have a better hockey fight on Friday.
Oh yeah.
It must be good to have young youth Canadian hockey. I don't think they let them fight down till
they don't let them fight here either. Fighting's a part of hockey, and when you're
right.
young, you get the 5-minute game misconduct, right? You're booted from the game. But it was a better fight than anything that happened between Canada and US. Like those, come on, guys. Fucking.
We used to watch Junior C and Junior C level. I don't know how old they are at Junior C, but I don't think they're even quite drinking age. There's 18, maybe 16, 18, something like that. No, you'd get some good scraps going on there, man. Farm boys coming out to play hockey at the local rink.
Rip it down. What's up, Thunder Dan? Clay. Cheers, Adam. You.
Hey, you're back home now, Cariboo. How is the garden doing?
Good and bad. So anything that is in bigger containers like you would expect it to be seems to be doing great. I have a whole bunch of shit in solo cups, like I was kind of mentioning off the bat there. And anything in solo cups is struggling hard right now. It's just they're getting too big, they're drinking too fast, and they need to be up potted. And so it's just kind of we're at that stage. I'm hoping that after the show I can run downstairs and get some shit repotted quickly before we go, but it's concert night tonight, so we've got about a 5-hour drive to get to where we're going, and so not a lot of up planting and gardening getting done. But it's nice, man. That Lilith from Jimmy Toucan She's at week 7 right now. I figure about another 5 weeks to go on her, and she's looking and smelling great. She's got like freaking pine and lemon coming off at you at the same time. She's fun. Rocket fuel weed.
Rocket fuel weed too, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, what's his general strain or grow season on that? How many weeks, days?
It 12 looks, so last time I think we cut it at about 11, and it wasn't quite like, it was good, but it could have gone a little longer, I think. Sorry. So we're gonna try for 12 this go around and see how she looks. If she needs to go longer, we'll let her. But you know, on the short side of a long flowering plant, I guess. But she's small. She does not want to get big. She's about half the size of other plants that we have in there. We will get just as much, if not more, weight off of her, off the Lilith, though, that we will. I got 2 investment dogs that are both they're probably about eye height, so they're about 5 feet tall or somewhere in around there. And this Lilith is maybe 3 feet tall, and she's just stacked. She'll have weight. It's pretty impressive.
So I did the thing I said I was going to do.
What do we got there?
I got to look at the picture. But it's either one of these 3. The Ghost Beach Chunky Pheno times Grape Hoolie. So that was the Ghost Beach female autoflower crossed by the Grape Hoolie male. I've got Primal Punch F3, which is the GG4 times Banana Punch. They came from the major. They've been around a while, these ones, because he's got number 6, I think, now. And then I got these as a gift from Noof, and I just haven't been popping them, and I got to start going through stuff that people give me. So we're going to start with this. Rocky Mountain Strawberries from Dark Horse, which is Bruce Banner to Strawberry Shortcake. And then I took a picture of the cups, which ones I put them in, because I don't really want to write on the cups. But got them labeled. They're ready to rock. They've been in there 12 hours or so now, so we got no action, but it's coming up soon.
Again.
I was like, I'm still hesitant, but I'm like, if I put them in water and they shoot a tail, like that's the hesitation's now spoken for.
Right?
Yeah, instead
when
of
we see a tail, it's got to go.
Yeah, it's time to move. I'm interested in the strawberry or Rocky Mountain Strawberry one because I'm a sucker for those types of smokes that are just sweet and fruity, aromatic. I like this spicy, earthy stuff too, but my body just knows, man. When I smoke that stuff, it's like night.
Isn't it funny how some strains do that to you? Like maybe not even just like put you to sleep, but like they just put you in that, man, I am good mode. Like, you can be up doing something, cleaning the house or out on some adventure with the family and you're good. Or you could just sit here, smoke out, and just be like,
The Black Widow Hawaiian does that kind of for me. I don't really notice it. Like, I'm not like, oh, wow, I'm really high. It's perfect because I don't notice anything. I'm on like level, so. Noticed that the other day, it was like a couple hours went by where I was just like kind of not in a good mood, like not over, going above and beyond, but just chilling. It's good medicine, that stuff, man. So maybe it's because I haven't been really smoking too much lately other than those dabs, but roasting a big joint of it, and that carried me for a good couple hours, keeping me good. So
crazy how that works when you go from smoking something like, dabs or just even like some dispo shit, but then go into some full on flower, full spectrum, get it all. And the difference that can really, be had there.
You'd think smoking like isolated THC diamonds, vaporized right to your brain would cancel out anything lower down, right? But no, it's like smoking dabs consistently for weeks and then burn a big joint of some no, I'm not saying anything bad about the strain itself, but like swaggy outdoors, just weed from my backyard, right? And it's like all of a sudden I'm just for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
We've been saying this for years. It's nothing but THC in your diamonds. It's a boring one-dimensional high. Now, as soon as you add those terpenes, that sauce that you had in with your diamonds, looking fucking damn good, I might add.
They're done.
You know, then you just get that like that. Wow, I forget who did the analogy, but it's like fireworks, right?
I think it was Rasta Jeff, maybe.
THC is the freaking rocket fuel to get you up there, but all the colors and the wows that you see when you see fireworks, that's the terpenes kicking in and adding color to that high.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, that makes so much sense.
That's just all the good stuff, right? It's all the cannabis. It's everything else that goes along with it. You know? Yeah. Isolation is exactly what it is, and you know you get one dimension because they only have one dimension in there.
Yeah, going back to the old school, man. A nice, just big fat joint. They just stink. But if no one else is worried, then who cares, right? My only time a joint stinks to me, like the only time I ever worry about it is because I'm going somewhere where it's going to be a concern or something. It's like,
right.
I personally don't care, but like. You know how many times I've heard like stinks.
I only ever cared since I quit smoking, and now I can smell things and stuff. And we'll go to a concert or something, or just having a good night, and just smoke a few joints, and then I get ready to go to bed, and I just smell like fucking, I just smell like it now. And so now it's like, oh yeah, it's that. I don't like that anymore.
I try to remember to take tokes from my lips, like put the joint in my mouth and take a few tokes and then grab it again. So it's because when you're sitting there holding it or whatever, that's the worst. Get those roach fingers from back in the day when some of the kids didn't care and they just get nasty looking thumbs and shit from all that.
Fucking smoking fingertips.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's like yellow from there up. Like I never understood how that was possible because there's your kind of sounds like similar situation. You back in high school, early 20s or so, there's a couple buddies that was a cool thing. Yeah, I smoked so much, my fingertips fucking dyed yellow or whatever like that. I was just like, don't you wash? Mm-hmm. Like, you just wash your whole hand, but not those fingers. Like, I genuinely have never understood how that happens. I used to smoke a lot of cigarettes. Don't get me wrong. I smoke a lot of weed. Shower daily.
Yeah. That shit always used to crack me up, the old school fucking smokers. And, as like their hair would turn gray and white. Like, I've known these fucking old construction guys for years, right? And just constantly smoke. But you'll just see that fucking, like the ring of fucking dyed color right there where everything else is. It's just like, oh, man, that's fucked up.
I worked with this
looks like a butthole, I ain't going to lie. Same colors and things.
There's a welder I worked with out west, an old dude. I forget what his name was. He looked like Popcorn Sutton. Shriveled up dude, gray and black beard and mustache, and he always had a smoke just popping when he was talking. You couldn't see his lips at all, but just a cigarette just always twitching. Half the time it was just right to the butt and out, but still hanging there. It's just like, holy fuck, you're old.
Yeah, I knew a few guys like that.
He's looking at us 20-year-olds out there, just like, you soft little fucks.
I used to work with one guy. He used to buy the big old fucking cigars. I don't know. I don't even remember what they are nowadays. But he would cut them in half because once lit and he takes the toke off, that was just big enough that he basically, for the length of that cigar, he could have his fucking hood down. Because now the cigar fits inside of his welding hood. Now it's just like, oh my God, like I used to do that stuff, right? I used to smoke and try to weld, and it's like when you're doing anything, man. Like, you ever tried to, have a cigarette hanging out your mouth while you're shooting pool? You know what happens? You burn your goddamn eyes. You know what happens when you're welding? You have nowhere else for the fucking smoke to go, and you add a ton more. You just burn the fuck out of your eyes. Yeah, man. Them old school guys, they must have been going by pure feeling, because I know that fucker couldn't see nothing inside that hood.
Welding by braille.
Well, I was doing a plow repair the other day. It was too funny because, like, I tried to avoid this repair. He came to the shop, and I was like, it's going to be a couple of hours. Kind of scared him off with the price, right? And but he's our plow guy, so I'm also thinking, well, we don't repair this guy. If you don't get this repaired, I'm snowblowing. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure out whatever, right? So I guess he goes home to fucking and talks to his daughter and his grandson and stuff. Like, hey, you know, when you guys welder around here, it came to me twice. So it's like, he showed up at the shop where I was working, and both the suggestions were me. So I'm like, I was welding this rusty old fucking plow no matter what. I couldn't avoid it, man. Couldn't run away from it. So I ended up underneath it, and it was like, oh god, there's, you know, it's a fucking truck sitting there. It's not jacked off the ground at all. It's just a truck sitting there with a plow. I'm underneath there. There's fucking cross members and wires and shit everywhere and dripping in my eyes. I was like, why do I do this again? Oh wow, it's one of those times like where you just
Fuck my life.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of put the gloves down and be like,
I had that moment more than a few times. Like, it's like they're like, we got to do this thing over there, and I was like, well, how am I going to do that? And they're like, we're going to stack pallets up for you. So, oh, that's fantastic. Because and the reason is because it's under 3 foot of water, and so they were going to stack pallets up so that I could stay dry. And I'm like, well, I got to get there fucking first, like.
Swim to the pallets.
Yeah, the whole place was fucking flooded, and they wanted me to go do a weld over there, and they thought the stacking pallets right where the weld was going to be the way to get that done. I was like, yeah, probably not. I guess you ended up still doing it, but I mean, it's not the point. Neither here nor there. You know, when they pay, they pay.
I saw some picture the other day, or is in the captions like freaking OSHA would fucking faint if they saw this or saw that. It was like they made some kind of floating raft on a pool and then put a scissor lift on it to get to the lights or whatever were up on there. And you're like, I don't even know if the picture is real. Like, it looks real, but Photoshop is amazing, right? And I'm just like, how is that even possible? Because if that thing, like, sways at all, it's going over.
Done.
Like, it just, yeah. At least Homeboy's got a soft landing.
Right? But that depends on how big the pool is and which way it tilts. He's either going to go right out the pool or maybe just kind of catch the edge.
That's true. Just hold on to the rail, hope for the best, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Hold on, take the ride, and hope it ends up fucking well.
This might be one of those situations where it's best to unclip yourself from the safety railing. Okay, you don't want that fall protection kicking in. Fucking drag you to the bottom of the pool and keep you there. Morning, Ty. Morning, Noof. Lobster.
Oh, Noof. He's another old school motherfucker, Noof. He'll fix it for you.
Yeah, Jeff Rose seen that one. That's like, yeah, it's nuts.
I mean, we've done some interesting things when it came to getting the job done, you know.
Sometimes, but usually when we're doing shit like that, it's not like that. Right? There's it'd be like, you know, like say if somebody from OSHA did happen to come in and see that, we would probably still get written up as fuck, you know, like not good. But they would probably at least see what we're doing and our reasonings for it. It's just you're not allowed to do that at work because it's bad kind of thing, right? They make up rules for some stupid reason. You know, and to counter productivity is my guess. But you know, then there's other shit where it's just like there's nothing about this that makes sense. You know, when you see those videos, pictures, I'm just like, fuck me. We had a good one the other day. We had a great big freaking ponderosa pine that had failed and hung up in probably about an 80-foot Douglas fir. And this thing wasn't moving, right? Like it securely hung there. We got to take both these trees out. That's like, fuck, like that's scary. You don't want to be climbing that shit. It's right on a cliff bank, not a steep cliff, like a roadside, you know, 15 feet up kind of thing right there. Just fairly steep grade, no big deal. I'm just like, well, fuck, let's fucking just let's shoot a line in the failed tree and just fucking run a line across the fucking road to our little cool little winch we got, see if it'll reef it out of that tree. And instead of doing that, we decided to just hook it up to the boom truck and we ripped that fucking thing out. And when that thing come down, it has like, you get all the branches flying and the destruction stuff when that hits the ground. but the root mound of the failed tree that was on the edge of the freaking bank, that come down with it. It took another smaller tree out with it. So now you had like 2 failed trees that are laying on the side of the road, like in the ditch. And that other tree that it was failed into still standing there, needed to come out. But it was just like
disaster.
I really wish we had it on camera. It looked fucking cool as it was all
going
on.
Find like when Mother Nature has an accident or something, like when something bigger than human has an like something, I don't know, like tidal wave, a fucking mudslide, that kind of shit. It's like it almost seems surreal when you watch it sometimes, just because you can't really fathom like that a group of 85 trees is moving down the hill.
Yeah,
you're like, what the fuck? Then the house just goes underneath and
yeah, it's not bad. Mother Nature is freaking crazy. Or another good example this is one that a lot of the people have watching and they'll probably have even heard of. So last summer there's that mudslide that blocked the Chilcotin River, which is actually only about 2-3 hours from me. If y'all remember seeing on the news, oh, mudslide blocked this river and stuff like that. And then
rivers don't stop, right? So they would just would create a bloody mess. The water would be going somewhere.
And so that was the thing, right? Water level just had to rise enough for it to come over. And then once it does, it's just going to do that natural fucking
path of least resistance.
Yeah, drill through all that. Just watching all that. Right? Funny thing is, like, there's the big debate. Well, is it all just going to break like one single shot and just go like a dam releasing like that? Or is it just going to do the over the top and then slowly widen it? And it was like, well, that kind of makes more sense to me because you've got like the section of mudslide that blocked that river was like a mile long. That's not a mile long of dirt and mud and trees isn't just going to release like that.
Well, it sort of did the first time, so it might do it the second time.
Let's hope, right?
Well, no, because it released from way the fuck up there on the side of the hill.
Wasn't last year there big flooding, I want to say, over on the east somewhere where shit was like getting washed down the river, where it was like kind of maybe near Hubie and them? I don't know, there was a big flood last year that fucked some shit up, man. And there's videos of like houses floating down the river and shit like that. That's crazy. I don't live anywhere near where that can happen to me, so I'm good.
I'm with you, dude.
I'm a few hundred. Yeah, you're definitely good. You're like Noah's Ark good. I got a canoe in the backyard. I'll be safe. But yeah, I'm a couple hundred. I don't know if I'm a couple hundred feet above sea level, but I'm a good bit.
I've got the weirdest like my house is sits high where we're at, but like the bottom of my property is actually quite low. Like I sit in my own valley, and so like my backyard floods, but my house is fine. You know, I never have to worry about it. But I guess if we get to, like you said, Noah's Ark levels, right, it's going to start getting into the house. But until then, I mean, you know, I've had it come up, and I'm like, wow, like that's getting close. But you know, I've always still got a good like 8-10 foot fucking buffer.
Runoff for me this year is going to be great because we got our asses handed to us with snow. We got center of my yard where there's like been no snowblower snow or anything added to it or whatever. I'm going to say it's probably a good 3 solid feet of condensed snow from the whole year's worth.
So it's probably 5 actually.
Yeah. And then if you go to a snowbank or something, fucking who knows? They had to come in and literally chop them all down and push them all back because people were getting in car accidents. They were having to nose out so far because there's 6-7 foot snowbanks. Can't see shit, and people aren't really caring too much. You know, on the main roads, they're still zipping. And you pull out, and it's like, fuck. Yeah. So it's been pretty crazy. The store down the road from me has a drift on the side of it. It looks ridiculous. You can just see it curled over the side of the building, and there's like a big hollow in there. It's one of the not record winters, but it's up there for sure, man. A lot of people are saying they haven't seen like this in a good while. I'm in my 40s. I've seen winters like this before. But yeah, it's probably snowing again, I think. It was snowing at 4 this morning.
Yeah. When I ran into my neighbor next door is from Edmonton. And we both our kids are actually in the same class at the same school. So we know when I go pick Abigail up, I'll run into him up there quite a bit. He's kind of like freaking out, like the like climate alarmism about the like, oh wow, like it's awfully warm up here for this time of year, and it's like, well, no, like it's for this time of year right now. No, the weather is about right. It's end of February, so it could be warming up, but it could still be holding on to that last bit of cold. Just depends on the year to year kind of thing. But it's like, but it's like, then he's like, oh yeah, I'm from Edmonton. And I was like, see, there you go, dude. Because like Alberta just gets that fucking crazy weather where
the prairie,
it'll fucking sometimes snow in June or July, right? And it's like, look what Colton was just dealing with for cold weather. He's only a couple hours from Edmonton. But just like last week, he was like minus 30 type shit. So it's the Alberta weather is just fucking different animal. But like I haven't seen really a lot of snow, dude. Like where the only places I've really seen snow is up in like Princeton where I've been working recently. And it's mostly the only reason it's really deep is because you got a lot of blowdown. So trees that have come down and the snow is kind of perched up above the ground a bit. So it's waist deep, but it's actually probably a little over your knees for the most part in actuality, right? But it's everything's just perched up a little higher. And it's fuck it. It does make me nervous for fire season coming because even the mountains don't seem to have a lot of snowpack in them. And well, we need that. We definitely need that. You know what else I need? Coffee. I'll be right back.
Do it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because the last couple of years we've had such shitty winters that I don't know. I haven't paid too much attention. I'm not a farmer, but it seemed like it was taking a hit, you know, plant-wise, just to not have that natural moisture to kind of help you along. It was mostly, you know, a couple inches of dry on top. So this year I'm hoping that snow really loads up the ground with the moisture. So I find no matter how wet the ground is, as long as it's draining, you're good. As long as it's not sticking around. So it's like, I've never had a plant outdoors in the ground like die on me. I've had one with a root or a stem rot or whatever. I don't know if you guys remember that 2 rows ago. I had one with a big white patch of shit on the side of it. I was peroxide spraying it, ended up rotting through the whole base. And you know, mine bases are sometimes, you know, this round, sometimes this round. This was a good one. It was like almost a fucking tree. And this, whatever fungal something, man, came in and just fucked it over. Big blueberry plant, I think it was. I forget. I don't want to remember that one.
Yeah, I mean, if you've gardened enough, you've had a few plants fucking die, and you've seen it, and you're like, that's fucking weird. Almost every time I've had something like that through my garden, though, it's usually been, you know, like a vole or a mole or something ate those roots.
Yeah.
Or
what I was trying to get at was I've never had like root rot in wet soil outdoors. This is where I was trying to take that before I fucking trailed off. But indoors you keep them wet and they get all funky. But I guess with outdoors they just come back to the surface. They just travel out of the wet zone, like, you
know, for like the roots and things. Yeah. Well, in any time, I mean, so typically the way you would really kind of think about it, so your heavy minerals and things are going to be low in your. So if you think of your earth just like your stratus, right? They're planted just in that shit, and your minerals are going to be lower. But most of your your main stuff is going to be kind of in that top layer of soil. So a lot of their feeder roots and things like that are staying in that top level and getting all that stuff from up there, while roots that are digging deeper and things are really going towards your moisture. They're getting a lot of those finer minerals and things like that out of there. So, you know, when you see those top roots, yeah, it's, you know, that's typically because you got a real nice, good, fertile fucking upper layer and they're just eating the shit out of it. So,
I think just once you get them outdoors and you get them to a certain size, it's like, this is where we thrive. Mother Nature. Let her roll. Fuck, did they ever get beat up this year. That one storm. Yeah.
Hoping to get to try out some nice outdoor plants this year out at the in-laws. Maybe get them to finish off for us.
Yeah. I'm interested too, man. I want to see what these Ghost Beach time grape hoolies, because we all know we had enough people in the group grow the grape hoolies, and they all verified very sweet taste, very good aroma, bag appeal, the whole nine, right? Everything's good there. So, and I like that kind of stuff. And then that Ghost Beach Auto from Crossbone Genetics, those buds were nice. Some of the better buds I've ever grown. And I know I don't do much when I'm growing. Like, I'm not that guy that's on top of my grow doing everything you can. I barely get these plants to go through their cycles. So it's like when a plant does really well, it's because that plant is a really good plant. It's nothing really I did. And that Ghost Beach had it all, man. Like, you know, when you dry a bud out and it's phenomenal. It smells good, looks good, tastes good, feels good. The whole experience with it is great. I don't really know the breeder too well or many of the strains, but I grew it once and fucking thoroughly enjoyed the shit out of it. And I'm always trying to find something that flowers a little bit faster. So yeah, these are right up in my interest there. Ghost Beach times Great Pool. I forget exactly what it is. California something is where it's Ghost OG times. But it's good stuff anyways. I mean, all the stuff I grew from Crossbones so far were awesome. Yeah, I know, Dan. Autos are fucking ghost. You're quite farther south than I am. Your situation is different. It's like I finally found some autos kind of worth breeding. And some of them are just the first ones I got were from white label seed banks, you know, the big ones. And I'm like I said, I'm not the best grower, so I'm really not the best person to represent something. But when the plant beside it looks like this, and it came from a little smaller batch stuff, a little more trusted, a little more transparent of a breeder, and then you got these bulk bullshit seeds, and yeah, spindly ass and no weight to them. We'll find one that's good though.
The autos for me always ended up being, and I've gotten away from running them for a while, but the autos were always just hypes work. It was always my CBD. That always ended up being kind of what the autos were. And
I more enjoy running them to find one that I want to bring into photo period. You know what I mean? To shorten up a photo period. That's one that's worth using as a catalyst to bring that down in another, like to take a photo period plant, dip it into the auto, and then bring it back out so it's tightening up that flower time, right? That's, you know,
I'm always on the fence on that, and I'm on the same fence when it comes to feminizing. You know, you just create such a bottleneck in that line, regardless. You know, it's not the fact that it's an auto or it's just the fact that you do cut off that many sides of the genetics. By bringing in that parentage you have of like the ruderalis, right? You have to keep that, right? Yeah, that has to be there. And so you just create that kind of bottleneck where, if you were breeding, with something else that maybe, you could get a little more potent or a little terpy or blah, 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 but it's always just my take on it and the way I thought about it. It's why I'm not really a big fan of like the feminizing either, right? It's just, it creates such a kind of wall that you have to fucking try to either break through or just work around. So.
No one should be growing half ounce on 100 days. No, they shouldn't. Like I said, I gave up on kind of growing autos for myself for putting in the jars. But every once in a while, you do get I've had some that are multiple ounces, and I can't, again, for the third time today, I think I've said I can't grow that well. So even out of a photo period plant, when I do things right, I'm only getting a couple ounces. So to have an autoflower that kind of doesn't really worry about the light in this, but
Says
a lot of
the
them,
guy sitting on fucking 10 pounds of fucking weed.
well, yeah.
I only grow it. How many plants did you get that out of? I know it wasn't a few ounces of plant.
No, the outdoors are different. The outdoor photo periods, that's Mother Nature. That's not me again. Like that's not me. I put some Gaia Green on the ground, man. It was like, give her little plants. Then come November, they're like, holy fuck. We gotta do something about this. Yeah, I don't know. I won't be doing that again. Shit.
I always just enjoyed the fact that I was pulling like 4 to 6 ounces out of a 100-day plant and veg. Like I was vegging plants, and while that veg was happening, that plant was in there just to go into town and doing its thing. And I never had to make a spot for that little guy to do. So it just was happily over in the corner of my veg tent, and that was good enough. Man, like I said, that was always my CBD at the time. So
I
probably should just get back to it.
I follow you, Fluff, and that's like hype CBD is about the only time I'll pop autos. My reasoning is like I've got so much fire fucking photo period genetics that there's no reason for me to really even look at autos because they're more of that gamble and stuff like that. But like I've been saying this quite loudly for a while though, I plan on doing autos outdoors just to see, because the outdoor season is a fucking gamble. Like my old man, like you guys saw some of the plants he had outdoors, and they were all looking fucking good at certain points in time last year. But fall comes too fast, cold comes too fast, and the plants aren't likely to finish. So it is like it's just like so for an indoor grow for me, I guess like it's so Magpie, thanks for hooking up with the tiger lilies, because I think that's we're gonna run those, and we're gonna run a few other things and just see what they look like outdoors.
Yeah, that's one that I've been curious about, and I might do this year. I mean, I've done a few outdoors, but they were still in pots. Might be fun just to ground germinate it, let that thing, sit in the garden bed and really see what it'll do without that kind of intervention.
It'd be
Might
a fun
be
project, man.
Yeah.
They're neat. They're just it's not for me. It's not something I want to rely on for my fucking medicine thing. Like where G-Bay, I think you're like, well, you've been fucking with autos for a long time, but like the way you're sitting on a fucking stockpile of flour right now, not necessarily a bad time to fuck around with them if that's where your interest lies, because you don't have to worry about, oh fuck, I just got a shitty harvest. This plant didn't come out anywhere near what I was thought. You're still good. You got your meds for a bit. So that's
yes, I do.
Whereas like if I'm indoors and I give up a photo spot where I can get 4 to 6 ounces off that plant, and my auto doesn't pan out and I get a half ounce or maybe only an ounce or two kind of thing. It's just like, oh shit, I feel that. So but they're fun. They're fun. They're neat. Everything has its place.
Right.
Where do I go see the latest AI of Raider Dank Raider here? Sorry, I'm talking about the chat.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering if that was in our Discord. Probably gonna go check that now.
Yeah, I'm like,
because now I was fucking curious.
Some of them are so good, like Thunder Dan's. What is Thunder Dan got again? It's like a T-Rex frog made out of weed riding a T-Rex or something. Yeah. It's just too crazy, the whole thing. It's like, that's awesome.
Who's killing it with the AI stuff is fucking Iceni. He's sent me a whole bunch of songs, and like they're fucking good. Like I don't know if I had heard any AI music done up to this point, because I kind of avoided that whole thing. I've seen a lot of AI art, and a lot of it's really cool. But like, he sends me these songs, and they're like heavy as shit. And they're all about smoking weed in the Cariboo crew. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is fucking great. Now I got to like make a video, because I don't think we can even just share songs through here. Or getting like on the StreamYard. It's got to be a video or something like that.
Yeah, it's getting pretty nuts. People that know how to use it, I've never even seen, I don't know anything about it. So I never did find that other pole for that tent. I haven't looked like 100% thoroughly through everything, but like, what the fuck, man? Was there when I took it down?
At some point in time Thursday night. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's all good.
So at one point I'm sitting there talking and just like there's no talking coming back. So I'm like, oh, am I like did I hit a dead spot? And like, no, my phone like kicked me right the fuck out of StreamYard when I lost.
Yeah. You abandoned me.
I hope you all
laughing.
I hope you all didn't catch me like road raging at the stupid dumb fucks. I'm not a big talker. I'm actually pretty introverted and quiet for the most part. Until you get me driving behind anybody slower than me, et cetera, you all know how it is, right? And then all of a sudden, it's like, holy fuck, I don't shut up, and it's never anything good coming out of my mouth because it's just pure road raging. You stupid mother. You know.
All right. So for when I'm putting the light back in this thing, like I kind of know what I'm going to do, but this is just discussion points. The 3 lights I do have are all 480 watt quantum boards, dual drivers, so I can use just one side if I want or whatever, and they all have dimmers. 4x4 tent, basically just I've been using just one of these itself in a 4x4 space, and it's been working fine for me, lowering and raising it if I need to. Now, like my ideal setup for, starting seeds out would be, I like to have, the humidity up quite a bit. Probably I'm going to say, 60 to 70, somewhere in that range. And the heat as well. A lot higher than I would by the end of the run, obviously. Now, being Canadian in winter, I'm going to have to probably utilize my heat mat. What else we got? In the humidifier I'll use. I've got one already set up. Those cold mist humidifiers, the ones that are that have an analog dial on the front for like, small to large, Sikon dial. Those are the best ones because I bought a really nice set one time and they turned off when you timer them out. So they're useless to me. I'm like, God damn. Bought them at not a thrift store where you go, like a liquidation place. So there's I couldn't bring them back. Damn it. So I went back.
I was just say the only problem I ever end up having, and I'm trying to fucking decide and find when it comes to like the humidifiers, and this could just be very much a problem in your specific area, but my water is stupid fucking hard, like stupid hard.
It's on your fans and shit.
If I have to run one of those like misting humidifiers, I have to clean it weekly because by the end of the week there's so much calcium built up on the fucking vaporizer head that it doesn't vaporize anymore. And then, like you said, it's just fucking the white shit's everywhere. The calcium's everywhere. So
I get the calcium on my fans after a couple of runs, but I don't get buildup in the machine to the point where it stops working. No. So yeah, your water must be a lot harder. But I get that same situation. It's just it's not enough to stop what's happening.
I'll show you something real fucking interesting when we go into the room here. And I found this one the other day, so I'm probably going to end up taking my I'm probably going to end up taking the reservoir out of my room because as I'm using the water as it fills, right? Because I've just got it set to autofill and then go and water my bed, right? Whole fucking deal is I want to be hands off water in that shit. So I've got it all set up in there, but it gets hot in the room. It's in an enclosed bucket, so you get eventually you get some vaporization. Water's not as cold as it could be, so you just get separation of things that are in the water. And I mean, I have a scale layer on top of my fucking straight fucking calcium buildup. It's pretty wild. Let's just fucking go in and have a look at it. But I think mainly that comes from the heat inside of there. Obviously the water's always running. And so, it kind of, whatever, when it gets low enough that some of the sticks to the side and then fills back up. That's how some of it gets there, but a lot of it is just from where it also evaporates off of there. So that's
Redo that. Let's rip a quick dab for everyone. Morning, Tara. Morning, Marshall. That was a good stretch. Those ones where you feel like crack, 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 crack all the way up your back.
dude, I could use one of those so bad.
Shoulders are popping, shoulders are popping.
So we'll come on in here. Room looks fucking yeehaw. So I think I was showing people the other day, we still have plants in various stages of recovery from my fuckery with the Dr. Zymes and, treating for thrips and shit. And this plant absolutely fucking hated everything I did to it. But if you can see the new leaves coming out, they're all straightening out. Everybody's doing fine. It's just they got to recover. Sorry, bad camera work as always. They just got to recover from the fuckery of that is me. We all know how that goes. Been watching me do this dumb shit for years. But this is what I was going to talk about. So there's my reservoir for the thirsty earth, and like I said, it's just down here in the room, right off to the side of the bed, and it just sits here. It fills up and goes down. So if you look inside of this, you can just see that fucking layer of calcium buildup. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. That's how hard my fucking water is, and that's the bullshit that I deal with here. And this is after I filter it. This is actually going through a filter also, multiple. So that's just so that's what I deal with. So a lot of times when I talk and we have any kind of issue in the garden and I'm dealing with it, I got to throw magnesium on because these plants, between the calcium carbonate in the water and things like that, I don't really deal with calcium issues, but I do deal with a lot of magnesium issues. So that's where I got. And as you can see, I'm washing out the DI out of here. So, yep. But as you can see, so like the Blue Thunder Bomb, this one is just taking off. Looking great. I like the structure. Being a nice big boy, big girl, actually. Same with this one.
Do you find at all, like with that excess of calcium, that it mitigates any like magnesium and potassium uptake at all? Like, because I know with the high, like calcium in in high levels can block that. So like I think I missed it. I think I heard you say something about magnesium, but like, do you have to like really concentrate on balancing that out, or?
Yes. So I mean, I use a lot of microbes in here to help fucking do to keep things balanced around. But it's a constant. So I mean, you can see actually in this plant here, you can see where this plant is really starting to uptake too much. Also, this one here is starting to take a little bit too much there on the sides. So yeah, it's hard, especially when dealing with multiple plants and strains and doing all this shit. But it's also why I find it very important to try to do these living soil covers and these the microbial teas, all these different, really trying to just get as much variation and as many different types of everything working in here as possible. Like when it comes to the bugs, when it comes to the microbes, when it comes to everything, all of these plants in here, these cover crops and things. These also bring different types of microbes, different types of bugs. So just having all of that is really what helps. So you can help drive these things. But so basically after I de-eat the bed, That's going to allow a lot of silica and shit to get back into the bed. It's going to release other things. It's going to change the pH a little bit, when I water that much in. So a lot of that stuff is these plants now just readjusting to that, right? Because I made an extreme change in the environment and soil by adding all of the diatomaceous earth to it. So that and then the enzymes. Like I said, I know for a fact because I'm an idiot. When I did this one here, I literally just spray the fuck out of it with the zymes and like watched it pool all over inside every nook and cranny because this thing was just praying and being fucking awesome. So I let it sit in there like that, which is why now those leaves are all curled up and pissed off at me and coming out. So, but yeah, so but with the bed, yeah, it is. They do a great job. We can go here and look at, so growing, we're probably, what are we at? A little over 3,000 watts inside of this room of LED, 100%. And I mean, we have lots of nutrients and things. And, we don't have things like purple, petioles on the leaves, right? So everybody's growing happy, right? It's happy. There's no signs of odd stress or water not getting to where it needs to. So yeah, this is this fuckery right here is going to slow them down for about 2 weeks. But I mean, I'm not mad at that. Look at what that thing did in a week. We're good. These plants grow. They grow like motherfuckers. So
Getting it done.
yeah, they are. So I'm really, really liking the structure on this one. He wants to grow out to be a nice full.
Just for me, it's hard. I'm trying to make this transition from growing for flower to growing for hash. But when I started this whole journey, there was no rosin. There was barely BHO. There was really good imported hash, and there was really good, I guess, imported and local cannabis, just raw flower. So I literally smoked flower up until 5 years ago when I started to get into concentrates. But they're so damn fucking tasty. And I'm just realizing my smoke consumption is at the level where I can grow and afford to take a harvest, make it into hash, and not run out. My brain will not let me take a large quantity of flour and squish it down into a jar of oil yet. I can take parts of it and do it, but I always got to save a couple ounces, which I guess is part of the game too. I'm sure sometimes growers will keep a portion of a harvest as flour, but I really just want to grow some really good flavorful indoor and do the proper wash and everything with it. I just want to do that. I've done close stuff, I've dabbled in the hash making enough to know that if you do it right and with the right cultivar, it's fucking phenomenal. So it's I'm not there yet, but man, can't wait till I am. Until then, we'll smoke a flower, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, dabs are where it's at, folks. It's the new age.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're, I guess, but I'm still
not our age group. We're good still. We still appreciate the flower and the joints and all that.
Well, but I still feel that's where your true medical fucking benefit is. And
me too.
I mean, I'm always going to be riding towards that side. And so with that, just, I'm always going to go towards as little work as possible to it so that you get as much possible back out of it. So, which is also why I like, the RSOs, because you take your complete flower, you take everything, you take it all and you give it back to yourself, So, and it's been proven to fucking work. So,
Sir Huntlot's got a good point. If you grow the dank, not much need to concentrate it.
Oh, there's look at the ball vapes and what
That's a
they
good
do.
Point.
That ball vape will get me more fucked up than dabs will. because I think you're getting more of an entourage effect. I think you are losing something in the and don't get me wrong, I love dabs. I fucking love dabs. You guys know that. But I feel like now I haven't had my ball vape in a hot minute because I left it with Colton to try, expecting to go back in a month or two and didn't. But like when I had the ball vape here, I pretty well stopped doing dabs because I found that I was getting to the point where there was almost like no ceiling on some strains, where it was just like you could like keep going and keep going, and like just getting dumber and dumber and dumber. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, Colton, that's where all my like failed concentrates go. The ones that just come out beer bottle brown or like just not really ideal for like dirtying up my banger or something like that. Those end up as like joint lubers. And it's great because those joints burn forever. You roll a big, nice fat joint with a bunch of rosin in there. Just the heater lights up. The fucking joint doesn't get any smaller. It's just like, oh fuck. 40-minute joints. They're nice.
Fucking Hoobie's on a roll in the live chat, man. He's fucking it's funny today. He's got me going. Cheers, Hoobie, man. This dab's for you, brother.
I'll have to go back and look.
Oh no, he's been fucking on fire all morning.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's right, Steph. I forgot all about that.
Oh,
Thank you. So we've decided to take up a charity event here. As you know, System of a Down is playing September 3rd and 5th in Toronto, and a bunch of us up northern booth crews are going to that. And we want Fluff to be there. He wants to be there too. Fundraising is an issue, however, so we've decided to set up a GoFundMe. As you can see right here, our brother Sniff, the great South Nelson Farms himself, has put the link in there. If you have a few extra bucks kicking around, we're going to donate to help get Fluff up north for this show. We're looking to raise about $5,000. I'm like, we'll see. It's kind of my thoughts on that. But if this doesn't pan out and we can't get Fluff up north for System of a Down, what we're going to do is anything raised is going to go towards Booth Camp South, and just freaking see, where we're going to get more papers made, or we're going to use it to help rent the place out for y'all or anything like that, and help make that one go on. So that way, anybody that's donating is having your funds go to something awesome either way. I'd rather see fucking System of a Down, though. That's my choice. Just putting that out there.
Hey, all right. Now that we got that out of the way, I want to talk about the ball vape thing here again, because I had the same issue that Laid Bad Dad has. Man, the price on some of these things really kind of kicks you in nuts when you look at it. But if you look at the fact you are buying like a heady piece, right? Like people have spent tons on just a piece of glass, right? That are more that's expensive than just the one of these pieces. But there's like nothing like it. It's going to be a piece that you have for a long fucking time. Like they don't just go bad unless you're beating the hell out of them. Like, you gotta be like chucking them around and fucking shit and like sticking them to fucking plastic and burning fucking like they.
This one's been sitting on my desk since Cal handed them out to the booth crew, and yeah, the only thing that I did was I put it on super high for a while to burn it all off, and it went a little blue on me. But people do that for fashion purposes, I guess. Anyways, and it's
and it's just. Yeah, and when it comes to if you're ever gonna buy anything for a dab, if you're gonna buy a tool to take a dab, whether it be a $30 little electronic fucking straw, honey badger type thing, or anything, and you're gonna spend anywhere in that $200 dollar range, spend that few extra, get into the ball vape, smoke your own flower, and be fucking amazed at what will happen. Like
I understand that ball vape and prices on those things are cost prohibitive. They're the reason why I never got one myself. We've heard Fluff talking about them for what, a year and a half at the point where we had those given to us. And when you plug it in and you try it out and you start just like wailing on bowl after bowl, and the mental disconnect is there. Like I said, all of a sudden you're getting more flavors, but like it's like there's no ceiling on these strains that you were previously smoking, right? And you might, mental deficit, we'll just put it that way. Now after having tried it, I can justify going and buying a ball vape, I think. That's that I know. But when you don't know and then you've never tried it, I fully understand that. But once you do,
and that's I think what I'm trying. Like I said, I've always been about the health of it, and that's why I've always picked up vaping. And the vaping's been a big part of the health of it, right? As a welder, my whole life in coal-fired powerhouses, in refineries, all of these things. I always just worried about my health, my lung health, and wanting to take in my medicine. I don't want it to be any worse than it has to be. So if I can take that combustion part out of it, great. Now I don't agree with not that I don't agree with it. I just don't find as much medical benefit out of the extractions as I do out of the flower when you vape it. So, I'm to the point where even I have one extra one that I'm going to try to make some rounds to try to help some people, if they want to try it. So I've got it getting sent out pretty soon here. I think I'm going to let Noob get it tried first. I'm going to have him send it over to Artman. These are people who've expressed real interest. They vape, and they're same thing. They're a little hesitant about that price. I'm that confident that I'm going to ship that motherfucker out to you because I think they're that goddamn good. I don't even sell these things. I make zero fucking money on it. Like, these aren't a thing. I think it's that amazing of a fucking device that y'all, if you consume and you want to be called a connoisseur of this shit, like, I feel like this is needed. That's what I honestly think. That's how much I fucking, that's how passionate about them fucking things I am. So, but then again, do your research. If you're going to do it, do your research. You don't just like type it in and go, ooh, look at that. Oh my God, they're fucking expensive. Because I know which ones pop up. And they're fucking expensive. And you don't need to get that expensive. My screwball right here, the one y'all like, I've loved this one for years. Now this is one of the originals. I haven't heard a lot other than a lot of hype about any of his new shit. This is my most used vaporizer right now, and it costs fucking $200 less than that one. So you can find the proper vapes. You can get out there and do all that. Just do a little research. If you can't find one, hit us up in our Discord, man. I'll show you where to go look. I can show anybody options. But anyway, now I'll get off of the vaping topic.
Or noob.
Or noob.
Noob.
Morning, Flower Girl.
We in live chat. We're live chat. Hey, y'all motherfuckers. Oh, dude, where's that video? Do I still have that? What? The live chat?
Oh, yeah, it's in there somewhere.
Oh, I don't fucking have it on my computer no more. Fuck. I gotta go get those back. Just thought about it, man. How far are we into this show? Almost to the end of this show, and we haven't even fucking checked to see if you people are in live chat or top chat. Horrible. I know some of y'all are missing some great conversation. Because your ass in fucking top chat. Yep.
I'm not even gonna ask what that's about.
Wood burning kit with bullet tips.
But just jamming in on
Yeah. Oh shit. What was I going to say? Flower. Sir Hunslot, you said you used that cube. I know Clay got that cube, man. I love that thing with a big, powerful vape. That thing is just set that. It's just right on the coffee table. You fill that bowl up. You just start chooching on it, man. That is a great way to do it. Hooting, taking some hoots. Sorry, with y'all Canadians, be hooting.
Sneaky Pete cube. Yeah, what is that? Sorry, what's a Sneaky Pete cube?
It's literally a big glass cube. Bong.
Okay.
It's a piece of glass made for it's made for vapes. What it's made for. Sneaky Pete.
Yeah, the actual
he's
square one.
yeah, it's a big glass cube, man, and it works fantastic. We actually I don't fuck yeah, I'd like some caviar with that Raider. And don't you be talking with your bougie pizza having ass. Alright? Fucking what is I don't remember, but so the cube has multiple like inlets on it too, though. So I think I had just the right fitting that was able to fit. And so when I go to Clay's, man, we'll set up that cube with the ball vape, and it's more like a hookah. So we got like 2 whips coming out of it. But yeah, it's fun. It brings you back, brings you back to the old hookah days when you and the boys were fucking, tear up, get an eighth, and get an eighth, fire the hookah up in the middle of the living room, and sit down and watch something stupid.
Oh, the good old days. Right. I love those nostalgic photos. It's like, remember you did the one last time with your friends and you didn't know it, kind of thing. Sitting in a bedroom in the 90s with video games going and fucking, chilling. You're like, oh shit. Those were the days, man. No responsibilities yet. Fuck. Be home for dinner. That was your fucking thing. But I'm already starting to see one of these seeds is starting to fucking open up a tad.
You got one cracking?
Mm-hmm. I think so. It's hard to fucking tell with my shit.
I always find it so interesting. Anytime I ever try to float a seed, it'll take 24 hours to 2 days to pop a taproot out of there, right? Get a nice little taproot.
Generally, yeah. That's usually
and I throw it in the soil, and in that same amount of time I have a plant already shucking its seed off the head and out of the soil already in the same 2 to 3 days if I just pop it in soil. Where if I throw that seed with soil down there or with taproot, that I popped in water, then it takes another day or 2 to also get, push its way out of the soil. So I've always just been a fan of throw it down there, and I've tried to do the float thing for a while and everything, but I've just went back to pop it in the soil, throw it in some water, and let it rip. Yes, Double J, I will absolutely be topping everything. I'm sorry, what?
I don't think I've ever floated seeds in water. I've always been like, what's the point? Like,
yeah.
I just do paper towel typically, right? And then, but you're 100% right. Typically, you take these nice friggin' long fuzzy fucking sprouts with the taproot, right? You plunk them in, and it does take a day or 2 for them to kind of reclimatize to where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
But if I've got lots of numbers to play with, like I said, I've been going to put 3 to 4 in a solo cup at a time and letting them kind of compete for the strongest plant. I just cut the other 2 or 3 that don't get to go on. And it's just I always worry about too many steps in the progress in the things, like, because I'm clumsy and I've got bad hands, so I like I worry
Less
about like
variables, the better.
yeah. So it's the whole watering of it. I just worry because if I put them in my furnace room where it's always warmer in there, it's usually about 48 hours. I found is almost always have good long taproots coming out. So I feel like it's close enough. But like I know a lot of people that absolutely swear by floating their seeds. So it's
For me, it was like I always ran out of patience when I put them straight in the dirt. I think I put them too far down. I think I have a habit of putting my seeds in soil just too deep, and it causes me issues. So a lot of times I've done the paper towel and the baggie kind of method to just be able to see the cotyledons, place them at surface level or a millimeter or two below, squish them in a way that we go, right? It works for me, but I know I'd much rather just put them in soil and let them go. But I just get like I don't know, an uneasy feeling, and I'm always like, oh, it's not gonna work. Or
I've lost a lot of seeds doing that. I find that when I try and stray from my paper towel method, I have a tendency to just fuck it up way more often. So that's if it's like what I'd consider a high value seed, that's what I'll do. Is I'll go to the paper towel.
Yeah, paper towel, Ziploc bag. Usually what I'll do is I don't have the option right now because I don't have a tent growing. But usually I just clip them to the side of the grow tent. And they get enough residual heat just sit on that black fabric that's got to grow on the inside of it, and maybe a day or two, you know. Put it on top of my fridge or something like that. See, it's just so simple. Like, there's so many different ways to do it. Nature's way is great, but like you were saying, you're clumsy, so you like to exclude the variables. I'm like so unsure that I like to kind of have those extra steps to know if I can do them, that it's going to kind of guarantee that I get a plant. But I have had them where you put them in the dirt and it's like you see the tip of the root like bend or something like that. And you're like, ooh, there's 2 days. Easy, if not a week, before it fixes itself and carries on. But basement growing a couple plants to yourself, it doesn't really matter. Pop another seed. That's the good thing when you make your own. You just get just vials full.
Right? Do whatever the hell you want with them.
Yeah. Oh, that one didn't work.
But you know what? That's nice because we're not that far off of when I remembered. I never wanted to play really with pollen. I always said when I found my medical plant, I would start fucking breeding that plant. Until then, I was going to hold on to what I had, or what I was getting a hold of, and get what I could. Right? It was hard to get seeds back in the day, so everything was super expensive. Right? Motherfuckers want to give you like $100 for a 5-pack. Go fuck yourself. So now things are opening up and it's better. Typically you're seeing packs that are better suited for hunting or just growing period, right? Because I remember the stress of getting a 5-pack that I paid a lot for and hoping one fucking germinated and I got one fucking female out of that 1-to-1. So yeah, it's nice where we're at now, and or being or playing the pollinating game with your plants, breeding them, or just extending your seed sources. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my main issue, right? That's my number one problem with growing indoors, is that seed start, man. That's for me, it's gets me all the time. So I'm like, fuck you, I'll pop you and I'll carry you over nicely and put you in a little hole and put your leaves right at the surface. Come in the next day and you're up a fucking ½ inch ready to rock. Nothing's worse as an amateur grower, like looking in your tent and just every morning is just dirt still. You're like, fuck, man. Day 5, you're in there with a pencil or something poking around. What the fuck? Don't lie.
The one is right. I want to talk on the one Dan said, because that is so fucking proper, right? Your seed's gonna drop. It's gonna be right at the end of the season. It's gonna drop. Well, if I kind of think of the way it works around here, the seed's gonna drop before the leaf litter, so the leaf litter is gonna come down and cover it. and then everything from out the season through the winter time is going to cover it. So I go with the, you're probably going to be about a quarter inch down of something, whether it be leaves, soil, just general detritus that's been blown around through the season, or just sat on top of it. Your plant that should technically be dead on top of it with all the leaves and stuff. So I just go with that. When I plant it in the soil, that same theory, but I do push it down just a little bit, right? I push it down with the finger, or I fucking push it down with the watering wand, because that would be the way nature would do it. However, the fucking water drives that seed down is going to be the way it goes down. And that's just my personal preference. I just find that shit fun. That's all.
Fucking noob to savage. Fuck it. If you can't make it, you're fucking
100%. That's exactly it, man. I'm down.
Safe space for the seeds.
I think my chat died.
I don't want a bunch of weak, scraggly plants in my garden, personally.
No.
Even if they're fire, I don't want them, because I know I can go find something that's fire that does have a good sturdy base to it.
Run after run, I find indoors. I think if I ever had to do indoor gardening for commercial purposes, obviously I would think of it 100%. There would be no questions with the weaklings. We don't got time for that shit. But as a hobby grower, it's like, well, what's inside that plant? Like, what's its genetic makeup? Maybe we could find something. And then after years, you're just gonna end up frustrated at the end with something that's spiddly and shitty and wasn't worth it. So just like you said, concentrate on the strength of the new growth, and ones that don't pull their weight, man. It's a little easier now just to literally grab these. Just don't even really think about it. Just going.
Yeah, you know what I'm looking for.
It's done. Yeah, no more thinking about it.
Yeah.
It gets easier. It becomes fertilizer. Like just.
Yep. It's actually quite liberating when you get through to be able to do that, because I understand that when you're like,
up your game as a gardener.
Yeah,
big time.
We're just about getting done for time here. Before we go, I want to talk about our guest on Tuesday night. So we've got Ashley from Gardening in Canada is going to come hang out with us. She is quite literally a soil scientist and does great video content and has become one of my favorites. It's going to be a great time.
I've been digging through her Instagram since you sent that one, and she's just real as shit, man. I love the way she goes through and talks all of her stuff. This is going to be a fun talk. This should be a real fun talk.
Well, she's actually got a pretty wicked sense of humor too, it seems, which is, always going to fit in well with us. There's one time there, I mentioned this on the show before, I think, where I watch one of her videos and you can see, I'm assuming it's her husband in the background there. And she just kind of looks over her shoulder and is like, that's my compost bitch. And I was like, yeah. She fits in better around here than we do. So it'll be a good show.
Yeah, where do you get one of those? I could use one of those.
What, compost bitch?
Yeah.
That's you, motherfucker. Get to work.
Like I was say, I'm currently filling that position right now, but
Nothing's
getting done.
So cheers, Mr. Greeting Fingers. See you there. Double J. Fuck, anyone else got anything that they want to get out before we split?
No, thanks again for joining us Sunday morning. It's always a great time. Good way to start my day, for sure.
Yeah. That's it, man. Hey, you know what? We're going to be proper YouTubers here, all right? Do the whole like, share, subscribe for us. Do the fucking notification because you want to come see us on Sunday and hang out and fucking sesh with us, right? Tell your friends. Get us out there. That's the way we grow. Ours has been growing. It's been awesome. I have seen new names. I love seeing new names in our chat. So, man, just keep getting it out there for us. We just want to be here and create a positive community around, the plant that has brought us all together. So do your thing. Help us out.
Oh, yeah. We appreciate that. Truly do.
We do.
Getting ready for the last rip, folks.
Oh, shit. Last rip. Got it. maybe don't forget to join our Discord.
Take me down to the graveyard. Show me a resting place. Take this worry away from me. My final bed to lay. I need asylum. Imprisoned. Forgotten and buried. Forgotten and buried. Well, I get so nervous thinking about the future. 'Cause I've been wrong before. Heaven never warned you of the joys of hell. The world can get so manic. Silence sits so well. I need asylum. In prison. Forgotten and married. Forgotten and married. I get so nervous thinking about the future. 'Cause I've been wrong before. Myself a coffin and I dug myself a hole. The pain I had buried me. The youth that want me turned me cold. I need asylum. In prison. Forgotten and buried. Forgotten and buried. Well, I get so nervous thinking about the future. 'Cause I've been wrong before. Well, I get so nervous thinking about the future. 'Cause I've been wrong before. Well, I get so nervous thinking about the future. I've been wrong before. Yeah, 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 yeah. I've been so wrong. I've been so wrong. I've been so wrong. I've been so wrong. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yo, shout out to Ned Denver for the IG band. Cheers, brother. Hope everyone has a great weekend.